The vast darkness of space stretched endlessly before the starship Aurora, its sleek silver hull glinting under the light of distant stars. Captain Elena Voss stood on the observation deck, hands clasped behind her back, eyes fixed on the swirling colors of the Andralis Nebula. It was a region of space that few humans had dared to explore, a place where unknown dangers could hide in the shadows. But Elena had never been afraid of the unknown. "Captain," said Lieutenant Harris, stepping up beside her, "sensors are picking up a distress signal. It's unusual, not like any Valari or human signature we've seen before." Elena's brow furrowed. The Valari were the dominant alien species in this sector, known for their intelligence, ruthlessness, and technological superiority. But a distress signal from them? That was rare. "Patch it through," she said. "I want to know what we're dealing with." A soft hum filled the room as the signal played. Unlike the sharp mechanical transmissions of most Valari communications, this signal was almost melodic. There was a pattern, a rhythm, and within it a hidden code. Dr. Kira Soul, the ship's chief scientist, leaned over the console, eyes wide. "Captain, this isn't just a distress call. It's a warning. Someone or something is in trouble and they're asking for help." Discreetly, Elena's lips pressed together. "Prepare an away team. We land on the planet and find out who is sending this. Stay sharp, everyone. We don't know what's waiting for us." The Aurora descended toward the planet, its engines cutting through the thick atmosphere with ease. The surface below was a maze of jagged mountains, deep canyons, and glowing rivers of molten minerals. Yet the signs of civilization were clear. Enormous towers of unknown metal rose into the sky, pulsating with soft light, and patterns in the clouds hinted at something vast moving beneath them. When the humans landed, scouts appeared almost immediately. Valari warriors, tall and elegant with shimmering armor and glowing eyes, surrounded the landing site. But something was strange. They did not attack. Instead, they whispered among themselves, fear or awe clear in their movements. Elena stepped forward, hands raised in a gesture of peace. "We come with no weapons drawn. We mean no harm." One of the Valari paused, then slowly approached. The rest retreated slightly, as if giving space to something or someone important. The approaching Valari bowed low. "Captain?" "Voss," the alien said, its voice like a soft chime. You are the human of legend," Elena blinked. The title had been whispered across the galaxy for decades. Humans were known for their resilience, creativity, and unpredictability. But to be called a legend by the Valari themselves, it was something else entirely. "Legend?" she asked carefully. "I'm just a captain doing my job." The Valari shook its head. "No human has survived the trials and dangers that you have faced. Stories of your ingenuity and courage have spread far beyond Earth. Even the Queen knows of you." Elena felt a chill run down her spine. The Valari Queen Xerath was known as the wisest and most cunning ruler in this galaxy. If she knew of Elena, it could mean danger or opportunity. "Lead the way," Elena said. "I need to speak to whoever is in charge." The Valari guided the humans through winding pathways of glowing metal bridges and crystalline towers. Everywhere they went, smaller alien beings paused and whispered. The humans felt the weight of eyes on them, watching, measuring, judging. It was an unsettling feeling, but Elena knew humans thrived under pressure. Finally, they arrived at a massive chamber at the heart of the city. Its ceiling stretched impossibly high, adorned with floating lights that pulsed like stars. And there on a raised platform sat the alien queen herself. She was taller than any human, her eyes a deep shimmering silver that seemed to see into the very soul. Her presence was commanding, yet not menacing. Elena stepped forward, her crew behind her. "Queen Xerath," she said respectfully. "I am Captain Elena Voss of Earth. We received a distress signal. We wish to help if we can." The Queen's gaze fixed on Elena, sharp and curious. "It is rare for a human to appear personally. Tell me, Captain, are you the one called the human of legend?" Elena straightened. "I am who I am, but I don't claim to be a legend." Xerath's lips curved into the faintest smile. "Legends often do not claim themselves. They are known by the deeds they accomplish, by the lives they touch, and by the courage they show. You have survived battles that would have destroyed entire fleets. You have outwitted enemies who believed themselves invincible. And now you stand before me." Elena's mind raced. This was more than a simple distress call. The Valari were testing them, measuring humans against standards she had never imagined. Yet beneath the formalities, she sensed something else. Curiosity, perhaps even fear. Before she could respond, an alarm echoed through the chamber. Screens lit up with red warnings. "Queen Xyrith," a Valari aide said urgently. "Sensors detect a massive fleet approaching from the outer rim. They are hostile, likely pirates or worse." Xyrith's eyes narrowed, but then she looked back at Elena. "Perhaps this is why the signal called you here. Humans are unpredictable, resourceful, brave beyond reason. Captain, your people may be the only ones who can face what comes next." Elena exchanged glances with her crew. This was no ordinary mission. They were walking into a situation that could decide the fate of an entire planet, and perhaps more. But she had never backed down from impossible odds. "We will help," she said firmly. "Tell me what I need to do." The Queen nodded slowly. "You will be tested. Not just in combat, but in strategy, intellect, and courage. The trials will determine if humans are truly worthy of legend or if they are merely fortunate." Elena felt a thrill of anticipation. Humans had always thrived where logic failed, where technology alone could not predict outcomes, where courage and intuition mattered most. She turned to her crew. "Get ready. We don't know what awaits, but we will face it together." As the humans prepared for the unknown trials, the skies outside the chamber darkened. The incoming fleet drew closer, its shadow stretching across the glowing towers. The planet itself seemed to hold its breath. In that moment, Elena understood something she had always known in her bones. Humans survived because they adapted, because they dared to act when others hesitated. And now the galaxy would witness that courage again. The alien queen watched silently, her eyes reflecting the incoming threat, and the humans standing defiantly before her. "It is true," she whispered. "The human of legend has arrived." And so, amidst the strange lights of the Valari city, the first chapter of a story that would echo across the stars began. The chamber of the alien queen was silent, except for the soft hum of energy flowing through the floors. Captain Elena Voss and her crew stood before Queen Xyrith, who sat on a throne that seemed to float above the ground. Light refracted through the crystal walls, painting the room in shimmering colors. The human crew could feel the weight of the queen's gaze, piercing, assessing as if reading their very thoughts. "You are not here by chance," Xyrith began, her voice smooth but commanding. "The stories of humans are fascinating. Your kind survives where others fail. Your kind adapts where others cannot. Yet stories alone do not make a species legendary. You must prove it." Elena's heart pounded, but her expression remained steady. "Tell us what we must do," she said. "We are ready to help in any way we can." The queen rose, her movements graceful yet filled with authority. "You will face trials. Not simple battles, not tests of strength alone. You will be tested in intellect, strategy, courage, and morality. Only if you succeed in all will you prove that humanity is truly the species of legend." Elena exchanged a glance with her crew. Dr. Kira Sol, the scientist, adjusted her glasses nervously. Lieutenant Harris clenched his fists, the tension clear on his face. Elena knew her team was ready. They had faced impossible odds before, and they had survived. "We accept the trials," Elena said firmly. Xyrith's lips curved into a faint smile. "Good. The first trial will begin immediately. You must navigate the labyrinth of mirrors." At a gesture from the queen, a large portal opened in the floor. Beyond it stretched an endless maze of reflective walls. The mirrors shimmered like liquid silver, showing not just reflections but illusions, visions of fear, doubt, and failure. The crew peered over the edge, hesitant. The labyrinth was said to disorient even the most experienced Valari strategists. Elena stepped forward. "Stay together," she said. "Keep your focus. Remember, it's not just your eyes that guide you, it's your mind, your instincts." The team entered the labyrinth. Immediately, the mirrors began to shift, showing images of themselves failing, losing each other, or being crushed by impossible obstacles. It was disorienting, frightening. Some crew members faltered, reaching out to walls that weren't really there. Elena took a deep breath. She closed her eyes for a moment, listening to the sounds, the distant hum of the labyrinth, the faint echoes of her crew. Slowly, she opened her eyes. "This is a test of our minds," she said. "The illusions are not real. They try to scare us, to make us doubt, but we cannot let fear control us." She led her team step by step, trusting instincts and subtle signs in the labyrinth. When a mirror showed an image of her crew failing, she reminded them, "That is not us. We are real. We survive." We adapt. One by one, the humans pushed forward, relying on each other. Hours seemed to pass. The labyrinth tested not just their courage, but their ability to work together. At one point, Lieutenant Harris nearly walked into a mirror that showed him falling into an endless void. Elena grabbed his arm. "Not real," she said firmly. We move forward, together. Finally, they reached the center of the labyrinth. A chamber opened, glowing with soft golden light. In the middle stood a single crystal, pulsing gently. Elena approached and touched it. The illusions vanished, and the labyrinth melted away, leaving the humans standing in an empty hall. Back in the Queen's chamber, Cyrith observed the trial through a distant screen. "Impressive," she murmured. "Humans overcome fear in ways no Volari could predict. Yet the trials are only beginning." The second trial was announced immediately. "You must navigate the Peaks of Silence," Cyrith said. "A mountain range where sound bends, winds deceive, and the terrain itself shifts. Many have entered. Few have returned. You must reach the summit to retrieve the Gem of Insight. But beware. The peaks are alive with creatures that see not with eyes, but with thought." Elena's crew readied themselves. They climbed the jagged paths of the mountains, encountering blinding winds and shifting rocks. At times, the path beneath their feet vanished entirely, replaced by floating stones they had to leap across. All the while, the alien creatures watched, curious but cautious. These beings could anticipate movements and intentions, yet the humans acted unpredictably, relying on intuition rather than logic alone. Halfway up the mountain, a massive shadow fell over them. A creature taller than their ship approached. Its body shimmered with colors that changed with every thought, and its eyes seemed to pierce directly into their minds. It blocked their path, sensing hesitation and fear. Elena stepped forward. "We do not seek conflict," she said firmly, though her heart raced. "We only seek passage. Let us move forward, and we will show respect to your home." The creature paused, tilting its massive head. Then slowly it stepped aside, allowing the humans to continue. It was the first time a Volari or their allies had shown mercy to a human without test or threat. Elena understood then that courage was not just about fighting. It was about knowing when to act, when to negotiate, when to trust. At the summit, the Gem of Insight glowed with a soft white light. Elena reached out and lifted it. As she did, visions of the Volari world and the galaxy's history filled her mind. Wars, alliances, and countless civilizations rising and falling. She understood something the Queen wanted her to see. Knowledge alone was not enough. Wisdom came from experience, empathy, and the courage to act. When they returned to the Queen's chamber, Cyrith's gaze was steady, her silver eyes thoughtful. "You have shown courage, intelligence, and adaptability," she said. "But there is one more test, one that will reveal the true nature of humans. It is a test of morality. You will face a choice that will affect not just yourselves, but many lives." Elena listened carefully. She had faced impossible odds before, but a moral test was something different. It required not just skill, but heart. She glanced at her crew. Dr. Saul, Lieutenant Harris, and the others looked to her for guidance. They trusted her, and she trusted them. "The humans are ready," she said firmly. "Whatever the challenge, we will face it with courage and integrity." Cyrith nodded. "Very well. The third trial will begin at dawn. Prepare yourselves." "You are indeed extraordinary. Yet extraordinary is not enough. Will humanity rise to the heights of legend? That remains to be seen." As the humans left the chamber to rest, Elena felt a mix of anticipation and determination. Each trial tested a different strength: fear, ingenuity, courage, and morality. Humans had survived by mastering all of these, often in situations far worse than any Volari could imagine. Night fell on the Volari city, and the humans camped in a safe area designated by the Queen. The city lights reflected in the sky like distant stars, and for a moment Elena allowed herself a quiet thought. Humanity had come far. They had survived wars, famine, natural disasters, and interstellar threats. And now they faced a new test, one that would determine not just their fate, but the fate of their reputation across the galaxy. She looked at her crew. "Rest well tonight," she said softly. "Tomorrow we face the final trials. But remember this, humans survive. Humans adapt, and humans are never predictable." As she lay down to rest, Elena knew that the trials were more than a test, they were an opportunity. to show the Valari and the galaxy that humans were more than stories and legends. They were a species capable of courage, creativity, and compassion in ways that even the most advanced civilizations could not imagine. And somewhere in the crystal halls of the Queen's Palace, Cirith watched silently, a question forming in her mind. Could humans truly be the species of legend? By the dawn she would know. The first light of the Andralis Nebula dawned over the Valari city, casting long reflections on the crystalline towers. Captain Elena Voss and her crew stood at the edge of the Queen's Palace balcony, overlooking the sprawling city below. The third trial awaited them, a challenge unlike the labyrinth or the peaks. It would test their morality, their intuition, and their courage under pressure. Queen Zyrith entered without ceremony. Her presence alone commanded silence. The third trial is a test of choices, she said. You will face a situation where your decisions will affect not only yourselves but countless lives. What you choose will reveal the true nature of your species. Elena nodded. We are ready. A portal opened, shimmering with pale blue light. Through it, the humans could see a devastated valley. Fires burned across forests, rivers had been poisoned, and alien refugees, small, fragile beings, wandered aimlessly, trapped between collapsing terrain. The Queen's voice echoed in their minds. You must save them. But be warned, the methods are not simple, the path is dangerous, and the lives of your crew are at stake. Elena turned to her team. We stick together, she said. We find the best solution we can, and we save as many as possible. As they stepped through the portal, the air grew thick with smoke and ash. The valley was chaotic. Alien machines, some automated and some piloted by hostile forces, roamed the area. Small settlements had been reduced to rubble. The humans had seconds to decide. Act rashly and risk everything, or carefully plan and potentially lose time. Lieutenant Harris scanned the area with the ship's portable sensors. Captain, we can stabilize some of these structures with our technology, he said. But it will take time, and the creatures will not wait. Some are trapped, some are injured. The choice is, risk everything to save all or prioritize those we can reach first. Elena's mind raced. She knew humans had survived wars and disasters not by always winning, but by making difficult choices, by finding solutions others could not imagine. We split into 2 teams, she decided. Dr. Soul, take a group to stabilize the structures and rescue the trapped. Harris, you and I will lead the others to secure the refugees. We move fast but smart. We do not abandon anyone we can reach safely. The team separated, moving with precision. Dr. Soul's group used human engineering to reinforce the collapsing buildings, creating safe passageways to extract trapped Valari and other alien refugees. Elena and Harris led a group through the smoke and fire, carrying injured beings, guiding them to safer areas. As they moved, a massive machine, a war drone left from a previous conflict, emerged from the haze. Its metallic body glinted, sensors glowing as it scanned for targets. Elena and her team froze. There was no way around it, and attacking directly could trigger more destruction. Elena's mind worked quickly. Harris, distract it. I'll get the others through the path. Harris fired a series of precision shots, forcing the drone to move toward him. Elena led the refugees through a narrow canyon, watching the machine struggle to keep up. Humans were unpredictable. No Valari strategy could anticipate such improvisation. After minutes that felt like hours, the refugees were safe, thanks to the teamwork and courage of the humans. Helena turned back to see Harris disable the drone with a clever use of gravity, manipulation, something only humans would think, to try with Valari technology combined with their own ingenuity. The humans had not only survived, they had saved many lives and preserved fragile ecosystems. Yet the trial was not over. The Queen's voice echoed, You have done well, but one final challenge remains. Will you act for all, even if it risks your own lives? Suddenly the ground trembled. A massive chasm opened, swallowing part of the valley. Several refugees were trapped on a shifting ledge. There was no easy path. Elena saw the fear in their eyes, and she felt the familiar pull of responsibility. We cannot leave them, she shouted to her crew. Harris nodded, understanding immediately. We do this together, he said. Everyone help! Elena and her team improvised quickly. Using ropes, portable shields, and force field generators, they created a temporary bridge to reach the trapped beings. Some humans risked falling into the chasm, but they pressed forward with determination. It was a perfect example of human courage, the willingness to act decisively even when the odds seemed impossible. By combining their skills, courage, and quick thinking, the humans rescued every refugee. As they returned to solid ground, Elena noticed the valley stabilizing subtly, as if their presence and efforts had influenced the environment itself. Back at the Queen's chamber, Xyrith observed silently. For the first time, her expression softened. "You do not act merely for survival," she said. "You act for others, that is rare." Elena lowered her gaze respectfully. "It is what humans do. We survive, yes, but we also protect, help, and adapt. That is how we endure." The Queen's eyes shone with curiosity. "And yet you face enemies far stronger, yet you improvise. You do not rely solely on technology or strength. You rely on intuition, creativity, and empathy. It is extraordinary," Dr. Soul spoke softly. "Queen Xyrith, humans have always found ways to survive and adapt. Sometimes it is luck, sometimes strategy, but often it is the willingness to act, even when the outcome is uncertain." The Queen nodded. "Perhaps it is time the galaxy understands that humans are not just survivors. You are a species of legends." Just then a new alert sounded. A Volari warship fleet approached, far larger than any humans had ever faced. Their weapons glowed ominously, capable of destroying entire cities in seconds. The Queen's voice echoed with a rare urgency. "Captain Voss, it seems the final test has arrived. Will humans face annihilation with courage? Or flee?" Elena stepped forward, her jaw firm. "We do not flee, we face it. Humanity survives by facing challenges, not avoiding them." The Queen's eyes widened slightly, perhaps in surprise, perhaps in approval. "It is said that humans are unpredictable. Now I see why. You act where others hesitate. You do not fear. You adapt." Elena's crew readied their weapons and devices. Their hearts raced, but they were calm in purpose. They had faced impossible odds before. They had survived attacks, disasters, and uncertainty. And now, on this alien world, they would prove once more that humans were not just resilient. They were brilliant, courageous, and capable of inspiring even the most advanced species in the galaxy. As the first Volari warships descended, Elena whispered to her crew, "Stay sharp. Trust your instincts. And remember, we are humans, and humans never give up." The humans moved into position, ready to face the fleet, not just as soldiers, but as problem solvers, leaders, and legends. In that moment, Xyrith understood something she had never truly believed. Humans were capable of extraordinary things, not because they were the strongest, but because they were brave, creative, and compassionate in ways no other species could match. The battle for survival and for legend was about to begin. The skies above the Volari planet darkened as the massive fleet approached. Shadows of warships stretched across the crystalline towers, their weapons charged and ready. Captain Elena Voss stood on a raised platform with her crew, watching the fleet's formation. This was no ordinary challenge. The final trial demanded more than courage. It required ingenuity, leadership, and the kind of quick thinking humans had become known for across the galaxy. Queen Xyrith's voice echoed through the chamber, calm but commanding. "Captain Voss, the final test begins now. The fleet threatens not only the city but the planet itself. You must find a way to stop them, or all will be lost. You have limited time and resources. Show me, the human of legend." Elena's eyes swept across her crew. Lieutenant Harris adjusted his tactical gear, Dr. Kira Saul checked the portable energy devices, and engineers recalibrated their defense systems. Elena took a deep breath. "Listen carefully," she said. "This is not a battle we can win by brute force. Their technology is superior. We need to think like humans always do, creativity, strategy, and courage. Every decision counts. We adapt, we survive, and we protect those who cannot protect themselves." The humans spread out across the platform and the surrounding city, setting up observation points, energy barriers, and decoy signals. Elena had studied the fleet's formation, noticing patterns in their approach. Volari ships were precise and predictable, but humans were unpredictable. That unpredictability could be used to their advantage. The first wave of ships fired energy blasts, lighting up the city with deadly brilliance. Shields deployed, absorbing most of the damage, but some towers crumbled under the impact. Civilians, Valari and refugees alike, ran to safety, guided by human crew members. Elena moved swiftly, coordinating defenses and rescuing those trapped under debris. Then came the crucial moment. Elena noticed a small, lightly defended corridor between the fleet's formations, a narrow path the humans could use to reach the fleet's central command ship. It was risky, almost suicidal, but it was the only chance. Dr. Saul Harris, prepare the prototype EMP device, Elena commanded. We'll disable their central command long enough to break their formation. Everyone else hold the line and protect the civilians. The device was experimental, combining human engineering with captured Valari technology. It could disable ships within a large radius, but had never been tested under real battle conditions. The crew worked quickly, wires connecting to energy cores, monitors beeping as systems calibrated. Elena led a small team through the corridor, dodging patrol drones and navigating treacherous terrain. The energy blasts from above shook the ground, but the humans moved with purpose, adapting to every new obstacle. Their coordination was seamless, a testament to human ingenuity and teamwork. Finally, they reached the central ship. Its hull gleamed, with Valari symbols of power, and the hum of energy was deafening. Elena activated the EMP device, holding her breath as the pulse spread through the fleet. Lights flickered, weapons went offline, and the once perfect formation faltered. At that moment, the Valari Queen's fleet paused, as if surprised by this unexpected human maneuver. Elena's heart raced. This was the tipping point, the demonstration that humans were more than stories, more than luck. They were capable of brilliance under pressure. Back on the platform, civilians and crew alike watched as ships crashed or drifted harmlessly into space, their energy disabled by the EMP. The humans had done the impossible, but there was still one more challenge: the planet itself. Sensors indicated that centuries of Valari mining had destabilized the planet's core. Without immediate action, the planet could collapse, taking the city and all inhabitants with it. Queen Zyrith's face was unreadable, but her eyes reflected concern. Elena looked at her crew. We have one chance to save this planet. We use the energy from the EMP device to stabilize the core temporarily. It's risky, but it may be the only way. Dr. Saul nodded, her hands steady as she adjusted the energy matrix. We can redirect the pulse, but it will require precise timing. Any mistake could trigger a chain reaction. Elena moved to the controls. We do this together. Focus. Trust your instincts. Humanity survives through action and courage. Now we show them why. The team synchronized the energy redirection, guiding the pulse toward the planet's unstable core. The ground trembled, towers shook, and molten rivers glowed brighter than ever. Humans and Valari watched in tense silence. The pulse penetrated deep into the planet, stabilizing the core incrementally. Slowly, the tremors subsided. The city was safe. Queen Zyrith stepped forward, her eyes reflecting awe and wonder. You have done the impossible, not by strength, not by weapons alone, but by intelligence, courage, and compassion. Humans are extraordinary. Elena lowered her head slightly, humble despite the triumph. It was not just me. We act together. Humans survive and protect, even when the odds are impossible. That is how we endure, and why we are called legends. The Queen's gaze lingered on Elena, and then she nodded. It is true, then. You really are the human of legend. Around them, the city began to recover. Fires were extinguished. Energy shields stabilized, and the once damaged towers glowed steadily again. The refugees, Valari citizens, and humans shared a moment of relief. The impossible had been achieved. Elena's crew exchanged smiles, exhaustion mingling with pride. They had faced overwhelming odds, deadly enemies, and an unstable planet. Yet through ingenuity, courage, and teamwork, they had survived, and had proven the legend true. The Queen turned to her advisors. Prepare the formal recognition. Humans have not only passed the trials, but have saved our city and our people. They are deserving of honor." Elena looked at her crew, feeling a deep sense of unity. Humans were often underestimated, their strengths doubted by other civilizations. But moments like these proved that humans thrived not because of sheer power, but because of their ability to think, act, and care in ways no one else could. As night fell over the city, the Queen held a formal ceremony. Light shone from the crystal towers, and the people gathered in awe. Elena stepped forward to receive the Queen's acknowledgement. The words were simple, but profound. Humans are capable of greatness beyond imagining. Their courage, creativity, and compassion have saved us today. They are truly the human of legend. Elena felt the weight of history in that moment. It was more than recognition. It was proof that humans, though physically inferior to many alien species, possessed qualities that no technology could replicate: ingenuity, empathy, and courage. These were human strengths. These were legendary. After the ceremony, Elena gathered her crew. "We've done something extraordinary," she said, "not just for ourselves, but for all of humanity. This is the start of a new chapter. Other species will now know humans are not to be underestimated." The Queen approached Elena, her expression calm but respectful. "Captain Voss, your people have proven themselves. An alliance will be formed between humans and the Valari. The galaxy will benefit from your wisdom, courage, and creativity. Truly, humans are legendary." Elena nodded, humbled yet proud. "Thank you, Queen Zirith. We will honor this trust. Humans survive by learning, adapting, and protecting. We will continue to do so, not for fame, but because it is the right path." As the humans prepared to return to their starship, the city around them thrived once more. The Valari citizens, once skeptical, now watched with admiration. Humanity had shown them something more than courage in battle. They had shown the power of intelligence, unity, and empathy. Elena looked up at the stars, thinking of Earth and the endless possibilities that lay ahead. Humans were small in the vast universe, yet capable of extraordinary deeds. They were more than survivors. They were legends. And somewhere, deep in the heart of the galaxy, other civilizations began to whisper the same words the Valari had spoken. The human of legend has proven true. The Valari city was quiet now, but the air was alive with awe and curiosity. Captain Elena Voss and her crew stood atop the highest tower, overlooking the vibrant metropolis that was slowly rebuilding itself after the chaos. The people below moved with cautious optimism, aided by humans who had stayed to help organize relief efforts and repair damaged infrastructure. Queen Zirith appeared beside Elena, her flowing silver robe catching the soft light of the setting sun. The Queen's expression was thoughtful, a rare moment of contemplation for a ruler accustomed to control and precision. "Captain Voss," she began, her voice calm yet commanding, "humans have proven their worth far beyond what I imagined. Not only have you saved our city and people, but you have shown qualities that my species has rarely seen: creativity, courage, and empathy." Elena inclined her head respectfully. "Thank you, Queen Zirith. Humans survive not only by strength or strategy, but by thinking differently, acting bravely, and protecting others. That is what makes us who we are." Zirith's eyes reflected a mixture of awe and respect. "I had heard the stories, Captain, the legends of your people's daring, their ingenuity, and their unpredictable courage, but I had never truly believed them. Until now. It is true, then. You really are the human of legend." Elena felt a surge of pride tempered by humility. She glanced at her crew who had endured every challenge with her, through the labyrinth, the peaks, the moral trials, and the final battle against the Valari fleet. They had proven that humans thrived through teamwork, determination, and ingenuity. The Queen raised her hand, signaling the citizens and officials gathered in the plaza below. "Let it be known across Valari territories," she announced, her voice carrying through the Crystal City, "that humans have earned our respect and admiration. They have demonstrated courage, wisdom, and compassion. They are legends among us." A chorus of cheers erupted. Valari citizens and refugees alike came forward to greet the humans. Children ran to touch their hands, elders bowed in respect, and soldiers saluted. Elena smiled, realizing that humans had achieved more than victory. They had inspired hope. Dr. Kira Saul stepped forward, her voice gentle. Queen Xerath, your people have shown us trust and cooperation. This is the foundation of lasting alliances. Perhaps our species can learn much from one another. Xerath nodded slowly. Indeed, the galaxy is vast, Captain Voss. There are civilizations that fear humans, civilizations that doubt them. But now we see that humans are capable of greatness that surpasses expectations. We offer an alliance not merely for survival, but for mutual understanding, learning, and progress. Elena's heart swelled with pride. We accept. Humanity has always believed that working together, sharing knowledge, and helping others strengthens not just our world, but the galaxy itself. We will honor this alliance, Queen Xerath. Over the next days, the humans worked alongside the Valari to repair the city and stabilize its infrastructure. Using their knowledge of engineering, strategy, and technology, they helped rebuild damaged towers, purify polluted rivers, and strengthen the energy shields that protected the city from external threats. The Valari marveled at human creativity, especially their ability to combine simple tools with advanced technology to achieve extraordinary results. During this time, Elena and her crew discovered something unexpected. Small groups of Valari had been resisting certain traditions and systems that prevented innovation. Humans encouraged collaboration and experimentation, showing that even established societies could benefit from new ideas. Slowly, the Valari began to adopt a more flexible approach to problem-solving, guided by human ingenuity. One evening, as the twin suns of the Valari system set, Elena stood with Queen Xerath on the palace balcony. The city below glowed with lights, and the stars above sparkled with infinite possibilities. You have changed my view of humans, Xerath said quietly. Your species possesses qualities that cannot be measured by technology or logic alone. Your creativity, empathy, and courage. They are remarkable, Elena smiled. Humans survive because we adapt. We act even when the odds are against us. And we protect each other because no one survives alone. That is what makes us strong, and perhaps legendary. Xerath studied Elena closely, then nodded. Perhaps it is time that the galaxy learns this lesson. Humans are more than survivors. They are leaders, innovators, and a species that inspires others simply by being themselves. As days passed, word of humans' deeds spread across Valari space and beyond. Other alien civilizations began to seek out Earth, not to challenge or attack, but to understand, to cooperate, and to form alliances. Humanity's reputation as a species capable of extraordinary courage and ingenuity had become universal. On the final day of their mission, Elena gathered her crew on the deck of the Aurora, ready to return to Earth. We've accomplished more than we imagined, she said. We've proven that humans can rise to any challenge, no matter how impossible it seems. And we've shown that courage, intelligence, and compassion are just as important as strength or technology. Lieutenant Harris grinned. And we didn't even get lost in the labyrinth this time, Dr. Saul chuckled. Small victories, Lieutenant. Small victories? Elena laughed quietly, then grew serious. This is only the beginning. Humanity has been tested, yes, but the galaxy is vast. There are challenges, discoveries, and opportunities waiting for us. We have proven that humans are more than stories and legends. We are capable of shaping the future itself. As the Aurora lifted off, leaving the Valari city behind, the citizens waved and cheered. The humans looked down, feeling the connection they had built, a bridge between species built on respect, courage, and ingenuity. Queen Xerath watched the ship disappear into the stars. She whispered softly to herself, "The human of legend has truly arrived, and the galaxy will never be the same." Elena sat in the captain's chair, gazing at the stars ahead. She thought of Earth, her home, and of the countless humans who would continue to face challenges not just for survival, but for exploration, understanding, and courage. The trials of the Valari had proven one thing. Humans were capable of greatness that no other species could fully anticipate. And somewhere, across the vast reaches of space, other civilizations were beginning to whisper the same words. The human of legend has shown the way. Elena turned to her crew, smiling. Set course for Earth. We have much to report and even more to prepare for. The galaxy is waiting and humans are ready. As the aurora jumped to light speed, the stars stretched into brilliant lines and the sense of endless possibility filled the ship. Humanity had faced the impossible, triumphed against overwhelming odds, and earned its place among the stars not just as survivors, but as legends. The galaxy would remember this moment, not for the battles fought, but for the courage, creativity, and compassion that defined humans. And for Captain Elena Voss and her crew, the adventure was only beginning. The story of humanity's legend would continue, across worlds, stars, and civilizations, inspiring hope and courage wherever it was told. For now, the humans had proven themselves. The alien queen had witnessed it firsthand. And the galaxy knew the truth. Humanity was a species unlike any other, resilient, brave, and truly legendary.